If you care about peace in the Middle East, there is one thing you can do that's more important than literally everything else. Confront the Islamic Republic of Iran. Iran's regime is the world's #1 sponsor of terrorism. They tried to assassinate President Trump and former Secretary Pompeo and former National Security Advisor Bolton. They funded Hamas, which slaughtered 1,200 Israelis in a day. They arm Hezbollah that seeks to commit genocide of Jews. Every day, Iran's dictators shout death to America. They stomp on the American flag. They killed thousands of American soldiers. They jail critics, torture activists, and hang gays. So I have a question. How many Iranian diplomats were confronted at their embassies today? 0. How many videos about the plight of jailed Iranian activists got over 10 million views today? 0. How many media outlets published exposés on Iran's funding of terror? 0. And where is the West? Besides America and Israel, the world is silent, either appeasing Iran, buying their oil, or hosting them in Davos. Fuck that. If the world won't do shit, we will. So what can average people do? A ton. Start by renaming the street in front of every Iranian embassy after a political prisoner. When I moved to rename the street in front of the Chinese embassy in Washington after their jailed Nobel Prize winner, the Washington Post wrote this, quote, "The regime of Xi Jinping is obsessed with the possibility that Congress will pass legislation renaming the street in front of the Chinese embassy in Washington, Liu Xiaobo Plaza. Chinese officials have demanded in recent senior-level interactions that the Trump administration bury the bill to no avail. The issue now threatens to become a major irritant in the U.S.-Chinese relationship." End quote. Confrontation works. In New York, I confronted Iran's foreign minister, Zarif, asking him when jailed activist Majid Tavakoli would be free. He denied knowing who Tavakoli was and scoffed, "Ha, that's life." Thousands of Iranians bombarded him on Facebook, and the regime temporarily released Tavakoli on furlough. At NYU, I rented an ice cream truck to celebrate 1,000 hangings in Iran and walked up to Iran's now foreign minister and asked him what his favorite way to hang gay people was. The story went viral. Confrontation works. At the United Nations, I was inches from Iran's president, and I considered pranking him too, but as the prime minister's spokesman at the time, I held off. But now I'm a free man. So how about we throw up drone shows over Iranian embassies the world over? Imagine thousands of lights in the sky suddenly appearing above the symbols of tyranny, depicting the faces of their political prisoners. Imagine every Iranian having access to Starlink so that the Iranian people can think and dream and post freely. And when the regime falls, and it will fall very, very soon, the Iranian people will build an economic powerhouse. They won't read Lolita in Tehran. They'll drive fucking Teslas in Tehran. They'll build a Silicon Wadi that rivals Silicon Valley because the people of Iran are brilliant and they're being kept down by theocratic dictators. Every person can do something to help the Iranian people be free. Talk to your friends. Talk to your family. Learn the name of one political prisoner in Iran. Confronting Iran is urgent. Do not wait. If the regime goes nuclear, they'll use their nukes and kill millions. Before October 7th, I said if Hamas wasn't removed from power, they'd slaughter thousands of civilians. That's exactly what they did. With Iran, it will be 10,000-fold worse. They don't care one whit about their people. They're willing to sacrifice millions, and they're willing to die themselves if it means destroying the Jewish state. Death for the sake of Allah is our highest aspiration, Hamas chanted over and over. In Arabic, El Maut fi Sabil Allah Asma Amanina. The world didn't believe them, and look what happened. Iran shares Hamas's same philosophy. This time we have to believe them. If Iran doesn't use their nukes, it will only be because a certain tiny, powerful Jewish state that's borne the brunt of Iran's terror for decades will annihilate every vestige of their nuclear program to prevent another Holocaust. If you want peace, undermine Iran. If you want to avoid war, undermine Iran's regime. If you care about human rights, undermine Iran's regime. If you want to defend the West, undermine Iran's regime. If you want to honor the memories of the countless innocent men, women, and children slaughtered by the Ayatollahs, undermine Iran's regime. And before you know it, we'll be celebrating in a liberated Tehran, eating gondi in a free Esfahan, and tadik in Shorobad. I, for one, can't wait. See you there.